Hey FMA, as exciting as it was to do beach glass jewelry on the beach, I'm going to go ahead and do a close-up video for those of you little people that would really appreciate seeing every step close up. So, I have my ruler, and what I'm going to do first is I have my hemp rope. I'm going to go ahead, use my ruler to measure, and I'm going to do 24 inches. So there's 12 if I go down the ruler once, and 24 so on both sides. I'm going to take my wire cutter. It's pretty sharp. It's going to go ahead and cut. So I'm going to take it, and you can use scissors too. Scissors will work for that. Alright, set that aside. So now I have my string for the pendant in the kits that you received. Now I have my wire. This is just regular silver wire. I personally like copper. But this is 22 inches. It's easy to manipulate. What I'm going to do is get my ruler out again. I'm going to go ahead and measure it. The whole length of the mirror, or the wire, oops, I'm already on summer vacation, 12 inches. So once I have it marked, set my ruler down, again, I have that wire cutter, and it has a spring. I also have miniature sets of wires that are really good for little hands. These are perfect for me. I'm going to go ahead, cut that wire, okay, and here we go. So, before, remember, I twisted with my hand and I made a fish. See that? I just turned that wire and put it over the wire. Kind of looks like a ribbon. Let me do cancer awareness. Okay, so I have that fish. I can hold it down and take that wire and keep rolling it over. Okay, that's what I did in my other video, but I thought it'd be good to use my round nose pliers. See how they look like a cone at the top, cylinder, and then it comes to a fine point at the top. It also has that spring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the wire, and this makes a really perfect circle. So if anybody really wants that perfect look, which is, that's a good eye for a designer and artist. Now look at that. I'm going to compare that with one I had in your kit maybe, where I did it with my hands and manipulated it. See how the one with the round nose wire, that made a really nice circle. So, as we can see, some wires poking out. I'm going to take my wire cutter, cut it, make sure you have that little piece if you have pets at home or little siblings. And then I'm going to take the last tool I have with me, the flat nose. Okay, it's a flat nose. See how it's flat? It's a good one to clamp. It's a good one to clamp and turn. And so I'm just going to smooth that out. Okay, so I use the round nose plier to do the circles. And then I use the wire cutter to cut the excess that I didn't want. And then I use the flat nose to clamp and smooth it. Now, I'm going to get my piece. When I was at the beach, I found white common glass. I found amber. That's an uncommon. And then I also found purple, or amethyst, which was a very exciting find. And that's rare. It's got that purple tint. You can also, there also are very rare, extremely rare. So those are the 4 ways to classify our glass. You know, we classify animals and plants, so why not glass? Let me read you about the purple one that I'm so excited about. Okay, if I put it next to the white, you can tell, right? It has that purple tint to it. So here we go. Most of the purple sea glass found today is softly colored from exposure to the sunlight. The glass was intended to be clear but contains manganese, which slowly oxidizes to a faint purple color. Manganese was used to neutralize other natural colors in glass until around 1915, when war disrupted supplies from German-controlled manganese mines in Africa. The intensity of the purple hue in sea glass is determined by the amount of manganese in the glass and the length of exposure to the sun. Some glass makers used an excess of manganese to produce a deep purple color in unique tableware. But most tableware shards found today were initially clear glass. There is also black amethyst glass, which appears black until a bright light is used to illuminate its deep purple hue. It was used for insulators on the bottoms of early light bulbs and is often mistaken for small buttons. So the ratio of finding this on the beach is 1 in 250 pieces. So I think that was really special that we found it. They mainly produced it 1880s to 1915, and the sources were 85% bottles and 15% glass for tableware. So how cool is that? We know it was in the water lake over 30 years because it's frosted. And look at the markings on it. We can tell possibly that was used for tableware. Okay, so we can identify it by the color, the smoothness, the shape, the markings. And then we can classify it on if it was rare, extremely rare, common, and uncommon to see how old the glass was or maybe when it was produced. Cool, huh? So what we're going to do next is I'm going to take my shard or my piece of glass, and as a designer making jewelry, just decide, how do I want it to lay? Do I want it to lay like this? Do I want it to lay like that? Okay, I'm just going to keep turning it around till I really like the shape, how it will hang as a pendant. And I really think it reminds me of Africa, where they mine it, which is a continent that we have learned about. So I think that's the direction I would like it to be. And so I'm going to take the wire with my loop at the top and hold it how I want it. And so once you have it, see how I've got it? And I'm shaky, I'm sorry, I'm a creature of habit, and I did just drink some coffee. I was very tired. Okay, so I also want the string to go through that, so that's how I positioned it. Now you might want to plan out before you wrap how you want it to look. I just kind of go with it, but I do like to come up and wrap it around the top just to make sure it's secure. And then, okay, see that? So I'm just going to see how much wire I have as well before, so I know before I would run out. And sometimes I might be very intricate, like I might wrap it many times, or sometimes I may just be real simple. Sometimes I don't like it, so I untwisted it so that I could go with this nook. I just wanted more of a secure holding on that. So this is a very big piece, and my wire did not last very long. So I'm going to go ahead and I ended it by bringing it back to the top. Now that wire is pokey, I'm going to get my flathead screwdriver and I'm going to just kind of pinch it to tighten it. And it takes a lot of practice to get really comfortable with these tools. and to do many pieces before the coils and everything gets real perfect how you want it. And I do have chubby fingers, so that can be a funny thing. Now if my wire is loose, one thing I can do is turn it over, and I can take my flat nose and I can take the wire on the back and just kind of twist it. It really tightened up how the wire was on the front. But yeah, I think it's pretty secure. And I tightened it as best as I could. Now this isn't my most best wrapping job. I think I was trying to pay attention to what I was teaching just as much as focusing on how I was doing it. But I hope this close-up view really helps you out. It's nice to look to see if anything needs to be cut with the wire cutter. And then I think I'm ready. Now depending on what you think, either side could be the front of your pendant. But I like it like this. This one is heavy, oh my goodness, so that's something to think about too. How big is your chard? I really like big chard necklaces. So, there's that, our pendant from our beach kit. We're going to end it with a simple knot. Take my finger, I've got both strings together, and I'm going to wrap it around my finger, cross over the string, the rope, the hemp rope, and that's going to make a fish, just like our wire. Remember when we did that? Then I'm going to put the string through. To remember not to drink coffee before my next time I do this. I pulled it through. A simple hemp knot. And then the pendant is ready to be worn. There's so much history to this. It's pretty special. I have a good idea of a special person I think I might like to give that to. I think you may know her, Miss Kathy. She's done so much for us the last 25 so years teaching at Montessori. And I think tomorrow at the parade, I would like to give her this. Just a reminder and a thank you for all she's done for Montessori. Alright, longer as usual than I wanted my videos to be, but I hope that gave you a better idea up close of how we were using tools with our materials to come out with our final project, turning our trash into treasure. This glass was made by nature, and then over time nature has refined it. Alright, pretty cool. Hope everybody has a great summer.